Welcome back, guys, to another exciting and different episode of What's Up, Doc. Because we are in the midst of a pandemic, we thought it would be a good thing to cover the myths and the urban legends around coronavirus or COVID-19. So with me today is the famous Josh Lerner, who has been on CNN. He has been on Good Morning America. He is going to have his emphatic plea for better equipment published, and he is here with me today.
Thank you for having me, Alex. Alex and I work together. We have a lot of fun every time we work, so thanks for having me on your show.
Yeah, well, I'm excited.
So let's get to some of the myths of COVID-19. So Alex, true or false? The coronavirus was manufactured as maybe a biological weapon or something else along those lines.
False. Now, everyone's been like, COVID-19. That means the 18 prior were just not bad enough. We had to make the 19th because it was terrible. So that's not true. The reason it's called COVID-19 is it's coronavirus disease 2019. So 2019, of course, is the date that
December,
it was
December 2019
discovered.
was discovered.
And it's really not like discovered. It's what we call a novel virus, meaning a brand new virus. And coronaviruses, they've been around for a while, right? So they're like things like SARS, other things that cause, mild respiratory, illness. So it's nothing new, unfortunately. That was created in a lab to be a weapon of illness.
Exactly. Myth or question number 2, true or false? COVID can live on surfaces for up to 9 days.
True.
Correct. So we are learning more and more about the COVID virus or the coronavirus, and right now, as of now, we think that the coronavirus can actually survive on cardboard for up to 24 hours.
Crazy.
Can survive on plastic or metal for 2 to 3 days. So it can hang around, and that's really why practicing good hygiene and cleaning surfaces is so important.
All right, myth number 3.
I'm getting quiz now.
A vaccine is right around the corner.
That is unfortunately false.
Ah.
We would all like that to be the case, I think, but I think we're still very early in sort of clinical trials and testing and so forth. So I think to expect a vaccine to be right around the corner is a little bit overly optimistic.
It'll be there, it will, but the way we do testing, especially here in America, is that we're very, very cautious, and so they have to go through a lot of clinical trials, which mean human trials, which always has there's a lot of intricacy to them and safety standards that we follow. So
absolutely. Okay, question or myth number 4, treatments are without risk.
False.
That is correct. I was gonna say that's true, but that would have been a confusing answer. That is correct. So there are some thoughts or some thinkings in the very early stages that actually very old medications like chloroquine may have some effectiveness in treating the COVID or the coronavirus.
The pneumonia aspect of it, right? Now,
exactly.
Chloroquine is known for being a medication for
malaria,
right?
Malaria, and then it's a sister or cousin medication, hydroxychloroquine, which is used for, I believe, some autoimmune diseases such as lupus and so forth. But these are not medications that don't have their own set of side effects that can potentially cause problems with the heart, cause cardiac problems, and so forth. And again, these are very early in terms of their effectiveness for the COVID virus.
Right,
itself.
there's been some studies, but the studies, there's one study out there, and there's not controls. This is completely in the super early stages. So unfortunately, when we say, hey, there's no risk to it, people hear, oh, it's risk-free. They go out, they take a whole bunch of it saying, I'm going to make sure the more is better, right, with prevention. Exactly. And suddenly we have now toxicity. And that's the problem with things like chloroquine.
Exactly. There are cases now of people who have taken this thinking that they were trying to help themselves and unfortunately essentially overdose on the medication.
It's a pretty bad overdose.
Yes, absolutely.
Deadly overdose.
I think it's important to keep in mind that all the data, as Alex alluded to, all the data on these medications are based on case reports where we gave chloroquine to a patient who had tested positive for COVID and they happened to survive. And so we say, well, maybe chloroquine works. But until you have an actual randomized controlled trial, so someone's getting the medication, someone's getting a placebo, and then you can see the differences in large population, those large two groups, you can't draw any conclusions. It'd be akin to saying, well, I, had breakfast this morning and then I came in here, so breakfast obviously is, keeping me alive, which it might actually be keeping me alive.
But you got to be careful with how you draw conclusions, because people take it on your word, and if you go ahead and say, hey, nobody's gonna die, and it's not deadly to take this medicine, it's simply not true.
Right.
All right, how about this one? Myth or truth? Only old people are at risk for dying from this disease.
So that is false. That is false. And you've seen a lot of stuff on the news about the young people trying to say, who cares if I get the coronavirus? I'm going to be fine, and so forth. Young people are getting sick. Young people are getting hospitalized.
That's right.
And so it does not only affect older people. It certainly affects them more, but I think it's naive to assume that it doesn't affect you if you're young and healthy.
Now, we've had deaths under the age of 19.
Yep.
Multiple deaths in, Italy, in China. We have a 12-year-old on a ventilator here in, I think it's Colorado. This is not an old people only disease.
Exactly.
This is a disease that can kill.
Absolutely.
And can kill at any age, really.
I want to say that there was a study from Italy that 20 to 40% of the hospitalized patients are under the age of 40. So
that's right.
That's young in my book. So
I agree. All right. So there's some other ones out there.
Yes.
And how about the one that drink hot water?
Yes.
After being exposed outside.
There are all sorts of urban legends now circulating. Hot water, yes, the drinking hot water somehow protects you from the coronavirus. I don't even know what the rationale is entirely for that, but that is obviously not true.
Yeah, is the thought process there that you drink it and the virus then goes into your stomach and the stomach acids?
Yeah, you wash it down or something.
If viruses could be that easily combated, we would not require vaccines.
Really
People would just be drinking tea all day long.
That's a really
Britain would have no viruses whatsoever.
That's a really good point. Another one is that drinking bleach will somehow protect you, which bleach does sterilize. It will clean things on surfaces.
But it's certainly not meant to be taken internally, as it is devastating for live human cells, and that's what we're all composed of. So no drinking bleach. Do not drink bleach.
Avoid that entirely.
No, completely bad. Hair dryer to your nasopharynx.
I'd like to see that actually, though. I'd like to see how that works to singe your nasal hairs.
I think that all it is like, it's kind of like if you're COVID and you're driving on a country road, suddenly you get on the highway.
With your windows down. Right.
I'm like, this is a fast track to the lungs.
So don't be using your hair dryer to sterilize your nose or anything like that.
Right. So I think we've covered a lot of these myths and urban legends, and I'm sure we're going to continue to hear more and more about them. But really, we're back to the same basics that we've been talking about. It's prevention, and it's frequent hand washing, and it's using your elbow to cough. It's staying away from each other. It's staying at home. It's not touching your face. That's it, guys, for right now. It's no massive doses of zinc.
Right.
It's no massive doses of vitamin C. We don't have a cure for this right now. So anything you're hearing is a lot of
hot air from the hair dryer. From the hair dryer.
All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. If you like us, please subscribe to our channel. It's What's Up Doc, and give us thumbs up, and take care, stay healthy, and avoid getting sick.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.